Okay, Asia, London, and New York session done. It's a holiday week over here, so I didn't have much time to do videos, but still had time to take some trades. So I'm gonna go over the trades that I took. Took one on Nikkei on Monday. This one I do have a video about. Took one here and took profit right at that breakout level. The reason why I took this trade is because we faked out the previous month high on Friday, and then on Monday we flipped that daily breakout level. This is a breakout high, and we're trading below it. Whenever you flip a breakout high and trade below, this turns all of this into a possible swing point, and I want to always trade away from that peak formation. So in terms of cycles, Nikkei, we broke out above previous day high, so we're in a breakout cycle, and we faked out the high over here. That's a breakout reversal, and then coming back down, we flipped that breakout level again, and this is a false breakout, and then we broke below the previous day low underneath that breakout level. This is a trend reversal. So what this tells me is that previously the trend was bullish, then we flipped that breakout level, and now the trend is bearish. So Nikkei coming up to this week was bullish, and then we flipped that daily breakout level. These flips of breakout levels only happen at swing points. It doesn't happen anywhere else on a chart, only at the swing point. So once I saw that and we got below the previous day low, now Nikkei is bearish for me. So that day closed as a bearish breakout day. So I'm looking for continued sells to continue this move. We're below the daily breakout level, below the H8 breakout level. We have two time frame alignment. I'm always looking for two time frame alignment in my trades. And we're just looking for that fake out of the H8 high, which we get over here. So we got everything that I need to take a sell, but did not like how that last H8 closed. I can see right down here, the H8 closed as an inside bar. If I go to the H8 time frame, whenever I see an inside bar, I extend that previous bar's highs and lows. I don't like to be trading when I'm in the middle of a range. So I did not take any position on here. I wanted to wait for price to fake out this range high. So this day closed as an inside day. Inside day is pretty much telling me that no level was triggered the previous day. So I continue with the same bias that I had. So I'm still bearish on this. We're still below the daily breakout level. So I still want to be looking for sells. So when we have a bearish breakout day followed by an inside day, that's a range setup. These are my range setups. Bearish breakout day followed by an inside day. What I want to see is a fake out of the previous day high and then a fake out of the previous H8 high. And I want to take it down to that fake out level as long as we stay below the breakout level. So we're below that daily breakout level. We faked out the previous day high, faked out the previous H8 high, which is the same level. And I want to take it down to that fake out level. But the only problem is we still have not triggered that high of the range. And we're getting close to that. And so I didn't really want to take that. However, once price came down and we broke below the H8 breakout level, this turns the H8 into a false breakout cycle. So again, whenever you flip those breakout levels, these are always going to be at possible swing points. So once I saw that, this tells me that the H8 has flipped bearish. And so I did want to give this a shot. So right here, now it looks ridiculous. Now it looks so obvious that I was going up, but at the time we're kind of coming down. So there was a possibility that I had caught the top of the H8. So I entered as price got below that breakout level, stop loss at the high of the day at the time. And I wanted to take it down to the previous day low as a first target and the outer range as the second target. Price didn't do that, failed, and then took me out. So 1 hour loss on Nikkei on Wednesday. Then price eventually did fake out that range high. But yeah, I was okay taking this because we flipped that H8 false breakout. So going from a breakout high to a low. So next day closed as a fake out day. Still had that same bias. I still wanted to take this down, but the last two H8 bars closed fake out, two opposite facing fake out bars. So whenever I see two opposite facing fake out bars, that tells me that I'm in a range. That's one of my definitions of a range. And so I could see right here on the indicator, the H8 range low right here and the H8 range high. So this is a range I did not want to be trading when I'm in the middle of this range. And I learned my lesson, didn't want to do that again over here. So did not take any trades that day. And then on Friday, I still had the same bias. I wanted to take this down. We're below the daily breakout level. H8 breakout level is nearby. I was waiting for a fake out of that previous day high. So when we fake out a previous day high underneath that breakout level, this tells me that the market is in a breakout continuation cycle. We broke out below, it's a bearish breakout. Then we're traveling back up. Did not trigger any low here, so it just kind of went back up. And then instead of going from a previous high and then flipping that breakout level, it faked out that previous high, or at least this is what I wanted to see, a fake out of the previous high and turn that into a breakout continuation. So if you broke out, it would be a counter trend breakout. Most counter trend breakouts go right back to that breakout level. I was looking for this to fail and go right back down. So what breakout continuations tell me is that the peak is not locked in. So I wanted to take a sell and go all the way back down to here. So that ended up happening. Actually, there was that counter trend breakout right back to that breakout level. Um, wasn't really looking for that because of this strong daily pressure down. I did want to take this down, but the entry happened after my session. So the entry happened at 1:30. I'm already done at 11. So no trades for me on Nikkei. I was also a little bit dubious on this one because we're above that week breakout level, and we're also above that month breakout level. But it was a little bit hard to go against such a strong move on the daily. And then we also had that range on the H8. I saw that range. We're just right at the edge of it. I was just waiting for a price to fake out that daily high and get underneath that H8 range. And then I could have taken it down, but no entry for me. It came too late. Yep, so that's it. So Nikkei, I took a nice one on Monday and then took a loss on, what was it? Was it Wednesday? I think this one. Yeah, Wednesday. So nice trade on Monday and then a loss on Wednesday. And that's it. Didn't trade anything else on Nikkei. London session took a nice one on UK100. Hard time frame breakout levels were bullish. Peak bias were both bullish as well. No reason for me at all to look for sells when everything is pushing up. So was looking for a buy. Spotted this pattern on the weekly. So my setups are fractal. They work on every single time frame. On the weekly, I see a breakout followed by a bearish fake out, and I want to take this up because higher time frames are pushing up. So I'm looking for a continuation with this pattern. Let me just tidy this up a little bit. All right, so looking for this pattern. This is a continuation setup of mine, bullish breakout followed by a bearish fake out. So first thing I want to see when this pattern shows up, I want to see price come down, fake out the previous week low and the previous day low. So on weekly setups, as I said, my setups are completely fractal. On weekly setups, I'm looking for the daily as the momentum time frame. When I'm trading daily on the M15, I execute on the M15. I'm trading daily setups. I want to see H8 as momentum. So in this case, I saw the setup on the weekly, looking at the previous day low to be faked out. So over here, we faked out the previous week low, faked out the previous day low. This green line over here, this is the peak level. And I want to take that up to the fake out level. And that's exactly what I did. At least that's exactly what this market did. Did not trade this. I wasn't trading at that time. And after that, I want to see consolidation above that fake out level and below the previous week high. And that's what happened. Price stayed below that. And then I want to see a breakout of the previous day high and the previous week high right at that same level. And so this is exactly what happened at this time. I came in at London and it wasn't set up quite yet, but I did spot that pattern on the weekly. And I always like these weekly patterns. They're pretty strong. Daily also did the same thing, breakout, fake out. Wanted to see it come down, did not do that. Then I wanted to see it come up, and instead of consolidating too much, it ended up just breaking out over here. But anyways, I had the alerts set on UK100, and it did give me an entry right before my New York session. Took this on the H1. Usually I trade M15 during session times. I don't mind trading H1 at any time. And I took this straight off the H1. Whenever I take breakouts, most breakouts fail. So if I take a breakout, I'm going to take it at a 1 bar stop. High risk, high reward. If there's no visible target for me, we're at all-time highs here, I think. Yep. So there's no visible target for me. Whenever that happens, what I'm doing is I'm trailing that move. What I want to see, the way that I trail my breakouts, is I'm waiting for the breakout level to flip. So this solid green line over here, this is the breakout level, and I'm just waiting until there's a breakout bar that closes below that. So what happened here, but again, this is way too late for me, 2 a.m., 2:45. I'm not sitting here waiting for this until 2:45. I stopped, I think, around here, if I'm not mistaken, around 11. That's usually around when I stop. And so move my stops to right under this candle here, and just let it run. Oh, sorry. There's an inside bar here. And so I move my stops right below this candle and let it run. In the morning, I woke up and I saw, uh, to my horror, this really strong push down. So I still survived that, and I just waited until price got back to the previous day high. Many times before it reverses, it's going to go up to that previous day high. So I just waited. And at London session, it got up there, and I took my partials. I thought it would continue up, actually. It's a breakout day. On breakout days, I want to see some consolidation. All right, we broke out. Let me get my chart here again. We broke out, and I want to see some consolidation and then a breakout of the high. So there was some consolidation, but the H8 was in the wrong area. But still, I would have liked to see a breakout here. Didn't do that. So then my runners got taken out. So I took partials over here, moved my stops up, and I got taken out in this move coming down. So nice trade on UK100, 5R with taking partials, and that was that. And then I took USD Swiss yesterday. We broke out. So again, that continuation setup here, higher time frames, breakout levels, and peak levels are all pushing up. So no reason at all for me to look for sells. Want to see consolidation, got consolidation right where I wanted, and it came down right before London session. I always like to see that when you're stuck in a range. I think it was a H1 range or M15 range somewhere. I'm sure there's a range in here somewhere. Price came down, faked out that entire range, and then came back up. This happened right before my session, but I did spot it right at London Open. I only take trades starting at London Open, and then I ended up taking this breakout. So we broke out of the H8 high, broke out of the previous day high. That's this one right here. Looking for consolidation and a breakout. I prefer if it comes from a breakout day, but in this case, it did not. But it did break out, and I'd like to see this sort of consolidation. Again, whenever I take breakouts, it's a 1 bar stop. Took this breakout, wanted to hold it up to the next breakout level, and did not do that, and ended up failing. Had plenty of opportunities to cut my trade, but I don't really do that. I just kind of hold through, and in the end, I got taken out. And then that was that for this. And I actually was looking for the same move in New York. We flipped this breakout level. This is why I was really interested to take this up. We flipped that weekly breakout low. So again, whenever you flip those breakout levels, where these flips only happen at swing points. So I wanted to take this up. Was looking for an entry. I could not find an entry in New York. Looks like there was an entry here, but I was already done. 11, I was done. So I had no, already came down. I still waited to see if I possibly could come down and get an early entry, aggressive entry below. But the next M15 closed inside bar. So once that happened, I knew that I didn't have any setups here. I had to wait a bit longer. So whenever I see an inside bar, extend the previous peaks, highs, and lows, and I'm essentially waiting for a price to come down to the edge. And that it did happen, but already too late for me. Actually, not too late. I'm still up at this time, but I just don't want to be sitting at the computer all day. So did not take that one. I'm sure I could have dropped down to a lower time frame and find some sort of entry down here. Safer entries would be above the H8 breakout level and the H8 low and the day breakout low. So actually, no. If I take a look at this again, the stop would be a bit too high. So I think the only way I would enter is if I would get in at a lower time frame. But did not take that, and then it just kind of went. I still think this is going to continue on up. Hopefully, it'll pull back to give me some sort of entry. But I do want to take this up, look at the breakout levels and the peak levels. We're at that yearly breakout low. I don't usually look at yearly levels as some level I want to trade at, but um, technically, the market is fractal, so we are flipping that year breakout level. So what does that mean? Does that mean it's going to just shoot up? We shall find out. And then took that one loss over here. Didn't have an entry here, but I did take one on GJ. Not a very good one, or at least it was a break-even trade. We're below that breakout level. Higher time frames, peak bias, mostly pushing down. Breakout levels pushing down. Peak bias are mixed, but we are coming from a breakout day. Wanted to see price come down, but there was an inside bar, and so I waited until price got up here to fake this out. Did not do that, and then instead it came down and then flipped that breakout level. So once it got below this breakout level, I did want to jump in. I have an entry right here. H4 breakout reversal, weak false breakout. I'm looking at the momentum cycles. 40% bearish here, so there is some good confluence to take this down. Whenever I take breakout trades, it's one bar stop. So I took this and I wanted to take it down to the previous day low. So it did not do that. Faked out the H8 low, came right back up, and at this point I went break even. Didn't want to take another loss. Took one already on USD Swiss, went break even, and I ended up taking a break even trade on this one. It was technically slight profit, but basically break even. Did go down to 2.5R. Could have taken my profits here or at the daily open when it reversed, but I was looking for a bigger move. Didn't happen. So that was it. That's the only trade I took, and nothing else. I was looking for sells on all the indices actually, and it didn't end up happening. Broke out and then did end up selling, but again right after my session time. So it was annoying to see when things like that happen, but that's just how it is in trading. You just have to kind of get used to that. Yeah, and that's it. Um, on the scanner, there was lots of CAD pairs that were lit up. So, but there was this weird bar, at least on my broker from last night, 3:30. I didn't see any news or anything like that, so I'm not really sure what that is. But whenever I see this, I'm not able to trade any of these pairs. I prefer a lot cleaner than this. So lots of CAD pairs set up, but I stayed away from them because of that weird bar. All right, and that's it. So that's all the trades that I took this week. Hopefully next week I'll have a bit more time to make some videos, some live ones, and that's it. Have a good weekend.